And we are back, and we are live here at Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we have a really good show for you today. We have Lee Priest, Chris the Technician Aceto, and we have our NPC North American Men's Bodybuilding Overall Champ, Felix Norman, joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. It's funny. Usually, the show is on Saturday night, and with nowadays, the men go. You were done at what, Thursday?
Yeah, we were done Thursday.
In the history of men's bodybuilding, Chris, have you ever seen the show done on Thursday?
Well, Dave, you predicted it, and it was just a farce that you predicted a lot of things. But I predicted how much the Olympia cost to promote. But yeah, it's nuts, right? It's the biggest show. Right. It's crazy. Thursday, you're done.
I mean, it was very competitive. I don't know why they put the men on Thursday. I don't know. It's like bikini gets all the attention on Saturday night.
Because they probably had 3,000 compete.
Does that bother you, Felix?
It doesn't bother me as much for this show because I was just happy that men's bodybuilding had its own day, and it was prejudging in the morning and finals at night.
Right.
Because man, what bothered me was like USA's last year, men were first Friday for prejudging and last Saturday for finals. So it's like a 36-hour swing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And man, that's so hard to hold anything for that amount of time. So the bikini girls can have Saturday. Just let me do it all in one day.
Felix, it's my argument for not to digress, but it's my argument for having the Olympia on one day because, it's like ask someone, well, what is more important? It's obviously the second night.
Right.
By definition, it's the last view. So you could absolutely look, spectacular in day one and holding water on day two. Right. And they're going to crucify you for day two. Well, it's like two shows in one. It's not. The Olympia is not. It's like two shows in one. They judge you twice. Mm-hmm. Well, they do judge you twice because they say, you know what? Okay, we're gonna. Judge tonight as well as, the prejudging, but it goes back to the old question, like, well, what's the goal? Obviously you want to look crazy on both nights, but you just said it. It's hard to hold 36 hours, especially it might be easy for a lightweight. Yeah. But for somebody, you're flat, what I mean? Or, you're holding water, you try to fill out a little bit more and, middleweight can stay pretty, close to lightweight, even welterweight.
Well, especially when you get even for me, it's a difference. But when you get to the Olympia level, there's a reason why those guys can look, they always talk about how different guys look at prejudging versus finals and how much they improve or how much they lose it because you're holding it for so long. There's no way you're going to show up looking the same or even very similar with that much time swing. So of course that everyone either looks better or worse on one day or the other. And I would think it would make judging a lot harder too if they're if the looks are that much further apart for everyone.
They do it because they want to sell more tickets. That's really sure. They're not looking after the athletes.
Well, that's the whole point. The reason I actually brought it up, David, so that I was trying to softball you.
Sucker me into it. But you know what? I'm glad Felix is right. Look, I think they should have made the men on Saturday, but the fact that they have all the men on Thursday, at least, where you don't have to sit around and watch 600, bikini competitors before you go on. That definitely is an improvement. Let's leave it at that.
No, even at the show like the USA, if it's close, you got third last year, right?
Right. Yeah, third in the super heavies.
Regardless, let's say if this show was close and it was a 2-day show, 36 hours apart, you could hear this through the grapevine. I heard they said you got to tighten up. And then you're like, okay, I can do that. And then someone else says, I heard you got to fill out. And I'm like, well, which one is it?
Right.
Yeah, it was better that I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, you, because a lot of people might not know, who you are, where you came from. Last year you popped up onto the scene, you placed third, but you kind of had been missing in action. You have a good story. Kind of give us your background and how you got into bodybuilding competition and then what happened and then your comeback.
Yeah. So I got into bodybuilding. Basically, I grew up in the weight room. I mean, my parents got me a YMCA membership when I was 10, 11 years old. So I've lived in the weight room, and I never really did team sports in high school, but I would train in the high school gym with all the football players and wrestlers. and I kind of realized like I could grow faster than a lot of those guys. I didn't have the athleticism, but I could grow in the gym quicker. And so I kind of like, would progress pretty fast. And eventually I got turned on to bodybuilding and found Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding and that kind of stuff. And so it kind of took off from there. I discovered what, bodybuilding competition was. And then I did my first show when I was 18 in Minnesota, where I'm from, and competed when I was 18, 19, and 20. And then I was out for 8 years. I was off stage, just combination of some injuries, a big problem with drinking, and being absolutely broke most of those years, not able to afford the entrance fee for a competition.
Let me ask you this question. So I mean, you were good, obviously. You had, a predilection for the sport. Where did you kind of like get steered off course? Because most guys, when they're really good and they're doing well early in their career, they kind of stay on that path and find a way to, get it done, so to speak.
Yeah, the big thing. So in 2013, I competed when I was 20. I won the heavyweights and I lost the overall by 1 point. So I was like on a good like upward trajectory through every show. And then the off season after that, I had like a partial pec tear. And I mean, I couldn't train chest for almost a year. I mean, it was just, I should have gone to the doctor. I never did, that kind of thing. And so it kind of unraveled from there. Like I got into drinking and chasing girls and, that kind of stuff, and just totally distracted. And it took a long time to come back from there and to get my life stable enough where I could go after this, because we all know it's crazy expensive to do this. Sure. when you're not making any money from bodybuilding.
Drinking. You said you were drinking a lot. What's a lot of drinking?
Oh, a liter of vodka a night.
Wow. Oh, so were you like an alcoholic, drinking?
Yeah. And
I did a liter of vodka because my wife likes to drink. Sorry to cut in. I did that probably 2 weeks ago because my wife likes to drink tequila.
It was at the emergency room after that, yeah.
No, I didn't actually, but she found me this vodka. It's made from corn. And the worst thing about it was I could barely taste it. So I'm drinking it with juice. Next thing, the whole bottle's gone. I said, I got to lay down. And when I laid down, the whole house just started going this way.
The spins.
And then this way. I'm thinking, how do people drink this shit and get, oh my God, it was
because Lee, they don't drink as leader the first time they drink, they build up to it.
Hey, when I go all out, I go all in.
I know you do.
Right. As you should. Yeah.
So, I mean, at what point do you say, I'm a drunk, what I got to clean myself up? Like, what happened? Was there some kind of precipitating, thing that went on?
Yeah, I never said I was a drunk. My wife did. Well, my girlfriend at the time, but
right.
She's my wife now. But she was a big part of telling me, you got to cut this out. I mean, you're at that point I was 22, 23 years old, and she was like, you're not doing anything with your life. You're just drinking and hanging out in the basement. And she saw potential in me as far as bodybuilding and just in general. And she was very blunt about like, you got to cut this out because you're basically being a loser. So yeah, my wife CJ is probably the biggest reason why I was able to pull out of that tailspin.
How do you stop drinking when you're doing a liter a day?
Go to a liter every few days, and then
so you weaned off it?
Yeah, it was just by myself. Like I didn't do like any AA or like I'm not like sober now. I might have a glass of wine in the off season. But it took a while to really get a grip on it for sure. So
were you training during this whole period, or were you not working out at all?
No, I was training.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, so I go in hungover and just, but nothing's happening at that point. You're just dehydrated and you're just spinning your wheels.
Right, but it wasn't like you were starting from zero again when you did
No.
stop the alcohol.
No. I was always in the gym.
When did you think you had like a knack for or potential to get a pro card? Did anyone tell you that? Any judges, or did anyone help, or did you just kind of believe in yourself, type of thing?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, there was definitely self-belief where it was like, I always told myself, like, if I can get a handle on my personal life and get stable, financially and get focused, I always knew that I could do something. It was just a matter of getting there. But the big thing was when I came back last year in 2021 and I won the overall at the NPC battle at the River in Chattanooga. And, and then the judge came to me backstage. I feel so bad. I forget his name, but he came to me backstage and he was like, "You're almost there. Like, you're not far away from being in the running for a pro card." And that was, just my first local show back in 8 years. So at that point it was like, okay, he didn't have to tell me that.
Right.
That was a big deal for me.
So that got you motivated, in other words.
Yeah, absolutely. And then getting third at USA's, my first national show, that was huge. So then that's when it was like, okay, now I know I can do this. Like, I know there's something here. And so we've been 100% focused for the last 2 years.
Chris, you want to ask him anything?
No, it's just a great story.
Yeah, very good story.
No, because it's normal for you, but a lot of people don't come back from drinking,
Yeah.
Or they come back and they still have a crumbled life. It's just sporadic that they're back, or,
right.
They don't go from drinking a liter to winning the North Americas in a couple of years.
Crazy when you think
because it shows you that, I told you, I saw the pictures. I look great. I thought you looked great. And
thank you.
I think a lot of people who win these quote big shows, they look good, but I thought you looked great. And you probably, whether you know it or not, you're probably at like half where you can be.
I was going to say, Chris, how many years did you lose of progress?
Well, you just, these last two are a joke. They're just like putting it into second gear because, not to beat a dead horse, but I was with Kamal today and we were laughing. He trains with Nick and, he's 51. And he's got training, you know what I mean? He's just got so many years under his belt that, you could take off. Well, not at 51, but you could take off, 15 months and get right back into shape. It's a whole different story when you just, 20 and compete and then take 8 years off. But when you take the 8 years off, it's not like you're working and improving on yourself. You're just in the,
right.
You're in the gutter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's impressive. It's really impressive. That's why when I see a physique, I said, this is like half of where you can be.
2 years, you're going to be at another level for sure.
Yeah, this is like zero, nothing.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. You told me you're driving trucks, right?
Yeah, I'm a tractor trailer driver for UPS.
Oh, during the day. Okay, I thought you were doing like long hauls across the United States.
No. I'm home every night. Oh my God, that'd be impossible.
Although I got to do this to you, UPS, man, I feel bad for those guys. There's so many people ordering stuff from Amazon and packages. You guys have to have triple the work that you had 10 years ago, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Take it back, Dave. All that shit you used to bag the UPS out for being late to your place. Take it back now.
Right.
I feel bad for them. I still want those fuckers to show up.
Yeah. No, don't take it back because I never had to drive the delivery package cars. I just drive the semi truck. I just hook up to a trailer and go. I sit on my ass all day.
I got it. You got the Jimmy the Bull job over there.
Oh yeah, I got the sweet life over there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
it is your fault. You pull at the truck stop too long, so that stops the packages getting to the delivery truck too long.
You got to eat the chicken and rice.
He's pulling over to eat the chicken and rice for a couple of hours, and everyone's waiting for their packages.
Yeah, they're going to see that. I'm going to have an issue on Tuesday when I go back to work. They're going to see this.
We're only joking, people. He doesn't. He eats while he's just driving along.
Were you bringing like Tupperware with you in the truck with you?
Oh yeah. Like I do 10 to 12 hour days. So I've got 4 or 5 Tupperware stacked up and I'll just, whenever I get a chance, 5 minutes, pull over at a truck stop, go to the bathroom.
What do you mean? You mean you've got a job and you built muscle and competed because All these young kids today can only compete once a year. They can't get off the couch. I might burn muscle.
Yeah.
They can't do anything else but lift weights, and they've got to sit at home in front of the TV for 10 hours.
He was on the couch for long enough with the vodka. He can get off the couch now.
Yeah, exactly.
Lee, yeah, I won't even say it. Dave, I know you read my mind now about quitting jobs and stuff. I know what to forget it.
At least he pulls over to the rest stop, Lee, to go to the bathroom. Jimmy the Bull just climbs in the back of the truck, right? And pulls.
Yeah, I mean, we've got guys that do that. They just pull out a water bottle, you know. Oh, I can't do that. No.
Bodybuilders we have a lot of waste product in our gut, you know.
Plus, too, it's like you get in those big trucks with the air ride seat. It's a bit, hard to keep that bottle steady.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right. When you were backstage, for the prejudging, be honest, did you feel like you had a chance to win this thing? I mean, was that your mindset, or did you say, you know what, I just want to go there and do well,
No, last year for USA's, it was I just want to go and see where I stand, because I had never even been to a national show to watch, let alone compete in one. So last year it was like, let's just see how I do. Top 5, I'll be over the moon, So that was that. This year the goal was to win, but then I don't have the crazy confidence of like a Nick Walker. I'm definitely like, I look around backstage and I go like, God damn, that guy is hard. God damn, that guy is vascular. God, that dude's bigger than me. And I look down and it's like, I don't look like that. but after prejudging, when I was able to see some pictures, and at least, for the super heavyweight class, I looked and I was like, I think I got this. I think I'm okay here. I was fairly confident, but there were definitely moments of doubt. So
what are your plans now? You're picking a pro show for next year, or are you going to take a little bit of time off now to?
I'm going to take 2023 off. Put on some good size, especially on my upper body, and come back in 2024 for a pro debut. The judge that found me backstage basically said, lower body is pro stage ready, arms and lats need some more size, so we're going to focus on that.
Oh, look, we lost Dave.
I know, he just kicked himself out.
now the people on YouTube would be like, now the show's actually good.
What was your weight on like a week out, or on stage?
Stage weight, I mean, we weighed in at weigh-ins at 245, so I was probably 247, 248 a week out. So
what'd you come down from? What was the
just a little over 300.
Yeah.
So we had I get kind of fluffy in the off season.
It's okay. Some of the best some of the best, what Lee can tell you, some of the best
Oh yeah, I know those.
I've ever prepped people was from the fattest.
Yeah, I know those pictures of Lee Priest with the buckets of fried chicken and shit.
It was all Photoshop. That wasn't real.
That was fake.
I know.
I don't think we had Photoshop back then, did we?
I don't know, but
we called it back then, Chris? Airbrushing, right? Everything was
no, we'd have had an airbrush before you photoshopped,
Yeah.
Actually, I was actually at Weeder's office one time talking to Julian Schmidt, and they actually had Flex Wheeler on the cover of Flex magazine, and I looked over, and I can't remember who it was. Look, Flex has the tiniest waist as there was, and they were actually bringing Flex waist in a little bit more for the cover of the magazine. I'm like, why? He's got a tiny waist anyway, but they're just bringing it in just a little bit more. I'm like,
oh my God.
No one was better with Photoshop than Parabanal over at Muscle Development.
Oh God, the MD covers were a joke too. The MD covers were
Blackman
cover. Dave, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
You're breaking up, Dave. You
make Dave's tricep a little bigger.
Make your paycheck bigger.
I don't know what's going on. I got to spend more money on my computer for some reason. I don't know why.
No, it's not. It's the internet cable again people put in.
We can hear you.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Well, Felix, tell me what the plan is now for the future. Have you sat down and figured out what you want to do? Are you going to hit a pro show this year, or are you going to take the year off?
We already know that, Dave.
We already did all that, Dave, when you were away.
Oh, I missed it. I got kicked off the computer.
Yeah, but I should say,
answer?
I mean, I should say, tentative plan is to take off 2023, put on size, especially on my back, my arms, upper chest, everything, and do a pro debut in 2024. But at the end of the day, it'll be a joint decision between myself and my coach, Austin Stout. We kind of make all these decisions together. But I think Austin and I are both pretty much on the same page. We're shooting for a good 18-month off season and then start prepping for 2024.
What was your weight on stage?
245-ish.
You want me to answer?
Where was he?
All right.
245 was 300.
You know what, Dave? You'll just have to watch the show later on.
I'm not asking any more questions. See you later, Felix.
Yeah. You're all caught up now. You're all caught up now.
When are you heading back to your home?
We're back home now. I'm back in Nashville now.
Okay. Now let me ask you this question: when you see like guys have been moving to like Las Vegas and to try to train at the Flex Lewis area or down to Florida, that for a while they were moving to Boca, are you kind of set where you are? You're not leaving, or do you have like ideas of like maybe I'll move to Florida or I'll move to Vegas or something like that?
I would nothing against those guys. I would for sure never move to Vegas. It's just not my place. But no, I mean I live in Franklin, Tennessee, so it's right south of Nashville, and I actually train at Carbon Culture, where like Brandon Curry trains in his off season when he's home. So we have a great facility here, and they just bought out a giant gym that they're turning into like a world-class gym that's going to have I think they're going to have like a Raw Revive studio, and they're going to have like vitamin drips and all, HRT clinics, and it's going to be like a world-class gym down here. So it's, I'm kind of set where I'm at for now. If I were to go anywhere, I'd probably move back up to Minneapolis, where I'm from, to be with family, because they've got a couple gyms up there. But as far as like Florida, Vegas, stuff like that, probably not, honestly. Mm-hmm. I've got the resources here that I need. I've got the facilities I need. So probably not.
Doesn't Brandon have his own gym down there?
Yeah, Carbon Culture.
That's his gym. Okay, I wasn't sure what the name of it was.
Yeah. I think he's one of the owners, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, as far as I know, I thought.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So, well, you're in good hands over there. Although Brandon's not there usually during the his season, because he goes to wherever, Dubai or wherever to train. But
yeah, exactly.
You probably get a better workout with his wife anyway, right, Brandy? She's hardcore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've never trained with him.
You got to keep your trucking job though, aren't you?
Yeah, for now I'm too cheap. I'm not gambling on that. I'm too cheap. I need my money. I'm not going to risk it for now.
I'm going to say smart move anyway. So
yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's not like you win your pro card and all of a sudden everyone comes knocking on the door for contracts and sponsorships. It's like nothing changes.
No.
Got to prove yourself.
I tell people that you better enjoy the night you win the pro card, because the next day, everyone, you're the low guy on the totem pole, because now you're an IFBB pro, just like everyone else, And
exactly. Right. All I did was I went from being technically the best amateur in the country on that day, and then now the next day I'm the worst pro in the world.
You're definitely not the worst, but you're the lowest on the totem pole, that's for sure.
I'd be in the back of that truck though when I see packages come in that say Brandon Curry. I'll be rattling it. Oh, one going out to Vegas to Milos. Just run these through the X-ray again. Let me just see what's in it.
Yeah. Send me your address. I'll send you out some products from Species. Just so you can We got to give him some kind of prize package for winning the North American, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a shirt.
Yeah, I know that you probably you paid for. Believe me, with that application fee you paid for.
Yeah,
Okay?
Was
yeah,
it like
exactly.
those tourist shirts? I just won the North American, and all I got was this lousy
That's
T-shirt.
right. What is the application fee? How much does it cost to do the North American these days?
Oh God, I think the show fee was maybe $300 or $350 or something.
Wow,
Something like
Chris.
that.
What was it, Chris, when we were competing? Like $35?
Wow.
Chris.
What's that? 20, no, not even that. No, it's 20
I think it was
bucks.
like $25, right?
20 bucks.
Yeah. And I think an NPC card is like $125 now or something.
That's cheap. I thought it would be higher by now. That card,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
surprised it
something.
hasn't gone up more than that. But
Yeah.
it's an expensive sport for sure. And then the hotel and your tan and your.
You can get the fraudulent NPC cards cheaper, like the COVID cards, like the vaccination cards, Dave. Like you've been supposedly vaccinated. So you can go into like.
I'm shocked that no one's been bootlegging those NPC cards.
That's why I brought it up, just so this gives someone an idea.
I know a few people that probably would do it.
I'm looking for a fake IFBB Pro card if anyone's got one.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I have to pay for that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do. Oh, you absolutely do. No,
Yeah.
Lee's saying he wants to get one for himself because he doesn't think he can get one for real. That's why. We'll make you one of those like little like Mickey Mouse cards, like the Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Felix, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations on the huge win at the North American Championships. And whether people acknowledge it or not, it's a huge, huge pat on your back.
Mhm.
We always make jokes about how many pro cards they give out every year now for Masters and this and that. But the bottom line is that there's only one North American champ, one USA champ, and one overall national champ. And we'll always remember who those guys are throughout the annals of time in bodybuilding. So you've been added to that list, and congratulations.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it. That's a great way to put it. That makes it sink in a lot more. So thank you for having me on. Nice to meet all you guys. I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Take it easy. All right. Let's. That was a very nice guy. Good personality. Sometimes when people go through hardships and they have to overcome a lot of obstacles, it really changes them and matures them, doesn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it does. And you know what? Ultimately, in this sport, well, usually, someone like that, who's been really tested in their life, it's it's a good sport for them because it's a distraction from what you were doing, drinking, but also, if you've overcome that, what I mean? It's a test of your character, and bodybuilding takes, a big part of it is patience and character, and it just because I always tell people it's a loser's sport. If you look at Lee Priest's record, wins versus losses. I mean, if you look at it that way, it dawned on me once when Milo says I got one pro show win and 100 losses.
Yeah.
Dexter
Chris,
had
I was in the
losses.
open. I got seconds and thirds. That's not a loss. How dare you?
Yeah.
You're the first loser. That's all, Lee. That's what it means,
I was the first short loser, but just meeting him there, he sounds he sounds very humble and grounded. So
Yes, sounds grounded. And
that's because he went
patient.
through, hardships. People who have like a silver spoon in their mouth, sometimes they have to experience it later down the road, the hardships. And
I know exactly what he's saying when all the time when I was backstage, it didn't matter what condition I was in. That's why I'd go in the corner and face away. As soon as I looked at anyone, I'd be like, oh, fuck, look at him. Look at his arms. Look at that. Yeah. And my whoever's with me is like, are you fucking kidding? Look at your arms. I'm like, yeah, but fuck, look, his arms are much better than mine. But then when you see a photo, you're like, oh, fuck, I was way better.
Yeah.
But when you're backstage, I swear everyone looks better. It doesn't matter who it is. Everybody looks better.
Lee, I went backstage at the Olympia, and the only time I was ever backstage was 2017. And everyone I thought was like, oh my gosh. I thought like Phil looked like he was from a different planet. Ramy looked like he was from a different planet. And Dexter looked like he was dipped in like cement. And I mean, just right down the line, even the guys who are like 7th and 8th, they look way bigger than, because you go backstage, you're like, well, they'll be dieted down. So maybe they won't look so big. And everyone looked like crazy.
The men's open looked big backstage.
But I even remember in you had the magazine days, some of those backstage photos were some of the best photos ever. People posing backstage, just the hardness and the fullness backstage pictures. Then you see them on stage, and whether it was the lighting washed them out, but backstage, some of these people looked incredible in the photos.
I think that, you know what it is? It goes back to you can't recreate what a guy really looks like in pictures. So I showed pictures of Felix. I guarantee you can see how hard he is. I guarantee you in person, he was way, way more impressive. And, you know, that's why, you know, it's hard to criticize the judging, you know, unless it's completely off base, because unless you're there in that first row, it's tough. And that's why a lot of times
it's fun, Dave.
Crazy, you know.
It's fun to criticize the judging.
Yeah. You're right. Right. All right, let's pull up a picture of Cole Eastvold. He plays second at in the super heavyweight class behind Felix. Pull up this picture.
And I'm just still happy I'm here on this show. We haven't got a call yet.
You haven't got a what?
You haven't got a call yet because Brian doesn't like me. I thought you would have got a call by now saying you're not having Leon.
Lee's got a feud going on with Brian Powers, who runs.
I didn't have a feud. He said he was coming on the show, and then he blocked me on Instagram. Then he unblocked me and said, I blocked you because you're annoying me. I said, my last message to you was August 26th when I said, it'd be great to talk to you on the show about these discussions. Right. And then what he wrote back to me was word for word what manager Matt said. I said, he goes, well, give me some ideas now. I said, no. I said, you're meant to come on the show. That's where we're going to discuss ideas and ways to do things.
What are you feuding about?
How he dropped just some of those classes from the Arnold Classic because he said there was no depth in them. I said, look, if you had said there was money problems, people would understand that. But when you say there's no depth in the figure classes and stuff, you're going to upset the athletes saying there's no depth in it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he was basically insinuating that the reason they dropped figure was that the girls were not good. There wasn't enough talent.
Well, they dropped 212.
Well, yeah. but
I mean, he didn't. But
he did. But
the Arnold, but the Arnold did. So
well, that was the same. That was the same thing. They said there was no interest in it, which is bullshit because the 212 guys love that.
That's probably here. If you want to have another feud, that's a stupid comment.
Right. But you know what the funny thing is? Aside from the men's open, in the women's classes, everyone does the whole Olympia lineup does the Arnold, including the Miss Olympia usually. So why they would say that, you know, I especially since Sydney Gillen does it all the time. She's the Miss Olympia. I mean, what?
Well, I think there was seven of the women for the figure who they dropped were from the Olympia. So
they dropped the. I know this. I sound like a Romano. Like they dropped Sydney Gillen's class.
Right.
Well, that's one of the best physiques on the planet, men or women.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what else. It's the most. She has a physique where any guy who's not interested in muscular woman would probably say, "Wow, she's gorgeous." Yeah. And any woman who wants to put on muscle would say, "Like, I would love to look like that." And her boyfriend might say, "No, it's too big for you." And they say, "No way." Yeah. I mean, she has the perfect, attractive physique to, you know, to propel the sport into the mainstream, which I always think is a joke statement anyway. But it's just an attractive looking physique to women who want to look like that, and men who, you know, in terms of you saying, do you think this is, you know, beauty?
Massage gun. If you're going to talk shit on here, put your real name. He's like, well, Arnold has to pay out of his pocket. Why don't you do it, Lee? Lee doesn't even know who these people are. Use your real name, you little fucking internet troll.
That's why we like Lee Priest.
Arnold's not taking anything out of his pocket, believe me. This show is budgeted, you know, very well. They have very good people running the show. And look, I'm sure Brian is very competent and knows how to do his job really well. They wanted to get rid of figure for whatever reason. We don't know. It was not a depth thing. They used that as an excuse. Brian shouldn't have done it. What he should have done is come on the show. I know Lee was a little harsh on him and the girls were, but you know what? He had to expect that. Come on the show and say, you know what? Let's talk about this. If women are that interested, let's get them back.
You tell me what's the most attractive. I don't even know how to put a label on her physique. It is. I don't know.
Get attractiveness. They're not saying that it's like women's bodybuilding.
No, but I'm just saying, as far as the class, that's
depth,
interesting.
Which is even more of an insult to the women.
Well, that class, the top 3. Listen, I don't pay attention to that class.
Yeah.
I just don't. But I do simply because when I've been to shows and I see the top 3 at the Olympia, you go like this. Oh my gosh, those physiques are insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane looking physiques.
It might be the most competitive.
And you can't say this either. You can't say this by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. The top 3 from the Olympia and the Arnold, especially the Olympia, because this has always been about a knock against women who lift weights or bodybuilding. Right. Are they attractive? Top 3 in that division are just like lights out, good looking.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
physiques, good looking from head to toe.
I got a nice message from someone high up in the clan that I forwarded to Dave, so they weren't happy about it, were they?
No.
Not saying who, but let's just say there.
Just give me the first name, Lee. Just whisper it when we're off air.
Look, you know what? Whoever runs Arnold and whoever runs his show, they make their own. They make the call. But you know what? Like Lee, I think Lee really said it well, and he didn't say it disrespectfully on Iron Rage. He said if the case was that they're trying to budget the show down, where they don't want to spend so much money bringing in athletes, giving out prize money, and they would have said, hey, you know, we had some hardship the last couple of years. Arnold footed the bill, you know, that one year when they had it in September for COVID. And you know what? We want to kind of make back some money before we start, you know, launching full force on this thing again.
Exactly.
People would have understood that. That would have been fine. It wouldn't have shown weakness. It would have just shown being honest. That's transparency.
Well,
and instead, they made up a cockamamie story, and people, it didn't sit well with people. You know, that's what happened. I love the Arnold people. I love Arnold. I love the whole setup over that. It's one of my favorite shows to go to. You know, and so
I always used to say it was better than the Olympia. The way it was
I don't want to like create an animosity with them, but you know, at the same time, you know, we have to defend the athletes. You know, when stuff like this happens.
And that's what I was trying to tell
Dan Solomon was on Manager Matt's show and said he loved that there was diverse opinions even when they disagree. So I always going to knock Dan for that because I don't believe that statement. But
I do. I believe it coming from Dan. They'll probably get rid of Dan because of that statement. Dan will lose his job because of that statement because it's too honest. That's why.
I've been speaking of funny things. I've been getting good messages from Jimmy. I've been replying to Jimmy about how the space rocket didn't launch.
Oh, about the Artemis one.
He goes, "Why didn't it go, Lee? Why didn't it launch?" I said, "Jimmy, there's been a strike on the movie set. They haven't got it ready yet." So
they don't have
the
actors.
Yeah, they can't launch now. Yeah. No one's going to do the acting job. They got to get like
the gaffers are on strike, so
they're going to have Lee in a spacesuit walking on the moon. You know, they're going to be like, they had to get some unregistered SAG members. You know, and they're like, that looks like Lee Priest in that spacesuit. Nah, it's that astronaut. So no, I think that's Lee Priest. I see that. I see that little piece of that eye tattoo he still has on him. You know,
the suit's a bit tight on the guns. That's him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get back to the North American. I want to just showcase a couple of the top guys, and because I think they deserve it. Cole Eastvold was in second in the heavyweight class. A lot of mass on him, Chris. A lot of good conditioning. You want to give me your opinion?
Yeah, looks great in that shot, with the exception of the midsection.
What do you think? Is a little thick at the waist?
Yeah, it's just distracting. Like it's distracting through the. You know, your eyes go to. My eyes usually go. I mean, anyone's eyes go to two things, Dave. They go to someone's strengths and their weaknesses. So yes, he's got capped delts and really good quads, but the midsection there looks a little off. I don't know if it looks like that in the.
You know what actually looks funny, or it doesn't. I don't know, but like you said, like where his top of his quad muscle ends, it looks very long to his waist from there. Like normally the quad muscle goes into where your trunks are.
Right.
He sort of stops and then it still goes with, but that's being nitpicky, making it look.
Yeah, I think it's only on that pose too, Dave. I mean, it doesn't look that way. His midsection looks fine on the front double.
Yeah.
I mean, he was very good.
Grainy conditioning.
Good. Yeah.
I love the guys are coming in shape again, Chris. Doesn't that make you feel good that
just like we had a run there for a couple of years where
I can't comment anyway because all I'm going to get is you're a washed up, has been old guy. How many Olympics?
How dare you comment, Lee, on anything? Go back to where you came from.
Exactly. I'm just here for the comic relief. What a beautiful background. Doesn't distract from the bodybuilder at all.
All right, let's pull up the heavyweight winner here. Hold on. Talk about Ken. You want to see?
It's that tattoo on his arm. It's terrible. Who would get a tattoo and compete? Terrible.
Yeah.
Dominic Trivoline wins the heavyweight class. I want to pull his picture up. Hold on. He's really well conditioned. I'm really impressed with the conditioning because very rarely we see a show, Chris, where everyone is in really good shape who win
Well,
their
you've been
class.
saying that, Dave, for like a couple shows now.
You're right.
Been
Well,
saying
maybe,
that,
maybe
like,
guys are
really
paying more attention to what we're talking about.
No one listens to you, though, so stop being.
They listen to the athletes rep, though, right?
Who?
Lee Priest, the athletes rep.
Well, why hasn't the athletes rep come out about the Arnold Classic? He could have made a statement.
Yeah. Chris, give me some commentary here on Dominic Trivoline.
Balanced physique with really good condition. That's probably why, I said before, your eyes usually go to people's strengths and weaknesses. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't think he has any. I mean, his lack of weaknesses, by definition, almost means that nothing's overwhelming. There's no specific strengths, and his conditions enough to highlight that balance that puts him on top. So it's balance, lack of weaknesses, and really good condition that make him.
Why do you think Felix Norman beat Dominic in the overall?
Probably bigger guy, more weight, just as good condition.
He does look like Branch Warren. Someone in the comments said mini Branch Warren. Definitely
better quads, quads on a taller guy.
You think it was just more mass then? Because they both have probably comparable conditioning, I would think. I
think they're comparable. I think they both have really good condition. It's cutting hairs, and it's true you have to be there, and sometimes listen, if they're equal, sometimes you just say, well, your subconscious says, like, this guy's a bigger guy, he's a super heavyweight,
right?
We go with the super. I don't think that someone thinks that they're, we're gonna go with the super because he's super, he weighs more. But when you have a really good taller guy who weighs a lot more, he may not have any more muscle, might be equal, really, to the smaller guy, the shorter guy. Sometimes you got to make a decision. You're not sure. You go with the guy with the, quote, who's bigger.
Right.
Is it just me, or did the 80s and 90s into the mid 90s, more bodybuilders have hair?
No, if they had hair, yeah. I think
is it like some of the supplements they're using today? Is this? I need someone to do a study on this, because even Leverone had hair in the earlier stages into the mid 90s and stuff, and Sean Ray, but mid 2000s the hair started just disappearing on all. I'm going
to give you my insights on that. This is Samuel Cunato, who won the
no hair.
Heavyweight.
No hair.
Nothing hair. All right, here's very, very good conditioning on this guy too. All right, here's my I think back in the early 90s, the guys that were turning pro were much younger, in their early 20s, even mid 20s, even late 20s. Nowadays, it takes, to get that level of muscle mass, it takes guys a lot longer to, put it on. And I think we're hitting guys in their 30s and early 30s, mid 30s. And so these guys are losing their hair. And so they're just shaving their heads. How's that for an explanation?
But what are they doing to be losing their hair? People who aren't training aren't losing their hair at that age.
Chris, I was just saying that I think guys are just losing their hair because they're older. They're turning pro older because late 20s, early 30s.
And all these the old people who aren't training, who don't lose their hair. So it's got to be something they're using that.
I don't know. There's a lot of guys with shaved heads who are older. I'll tell you this: I never lost a hair on my head from taking steroids or anything like that until I turned 30. The second I turned 30, all of a sudden my hair started thinning. It was like crazy. It was like a time clock went off, and I didn't lose. I had my hair was almost too thick before that. I was like, I should have never.
That John Travolta hair, Dave. I just commented on it. I went down Dave posted a picture of him from high school on his Instagram, and he looks just like John Travolta.
You know,
Face, the hair. And I commented on John Travolta, and then I scrolled down, and what's Dave comment? John Travolta. I said, of course.
Because my uncle used to call me John. I hated. I love John Travolta. I didn't think I looked like him. He said, "You look exactly like him." I thought he was
exactly like him.
I thought he was just like
Vinny Barbarino. You look like Vinny, but this Vinny Barbarino. Yeah, look at.
Well, John Travolta's bald now.
Yeah,
that's right. There's another one, but you know what? He didn't lose his hair till he was 30.
Yeah, look at that. That's from Welcome Back, Cotter.
He got his SAG card early, and then by the time
guy to my right is my endocrinologist now. How funny is that? My friend Lenny, Dr. Taylor. He was my best friend, and that was the guy on the left.
That was like an opening scene from a Twinks video.
Thanks, Lee. Thank you very much.
Well, how do you know, Lee? That's what you meant to say.
Well, now I'm gonna put a plug in for I moved the Secrets to Becoming a Diet Guru course up a week, so it's gonna be next weekend. That's September 10th at 9 a.m. in the morning. You can sign up at my DavePalumbo.com website, and that's gonna be the whole day, 8-9-hour course, hour for lunch, everything you need to know about becoming a diet coach, diet.
What is the secret?
Where's the 10% added inflation on the bill?
Yeah. Well, now it's online, so I don't have to add the inflation to. People used to come. Remember, I used to have people come to me.
A Zoom call for 9 hours.
Can you imagine? I could talk for 9 hours. I always am.
I'd rather stick a fork in my fucking eye.
The reason I moved it up is because I'm having another surgery on my foot on the 15th.
The first one went the same foot.
If that rocket if the rocket's ever shot off, see if they can hook up internet in Maine.
My foot. I was just telling people about my foot surgery. So
is that because you tried to walk on it too soon, or what'd you do to it?
You know what? I actually listened to the guy pretty much. Aside from a couple little slips that I did. No, I was listening. I had the cast on, the walking thing, and everything. But you know what the problem was? For some reason, I don't know why my feet suck. I don't know why. I've always had terrible feet.
Right. Well, look, give it 4 days. Nick Cagilli will do a video, and he'll tell you why your bones are brittle and what's happened, and it's from what you've taken over the years, and you don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know what the funny thing is? When we were in the prime of our career, you're squatting. I'm squatting 600 pounds. I never got hurt in the gym ever. I ran. I was a runner for 5 years before that, like 10 miles, 12 miles a day. Never had a single injury. Never had anything. Never had a healing problem. It goes back to the old genetic time clock, Lee. When that fucking clock goes off, you are
like a house of cards.
All you can do is curse your parents because they're the ones who gave you those genetics. Yeah. I'm like, every time I have something where my back hurts, my father, prostate, luckily I don't have any prostate problems, but I'm saying anything that goes wrong, I blame my father.
What's that game where like Kaplunk, you'd pull the little things out and things just start falling down as you
Jenga.
What is it?
That's
Jenga.
Jenga.
Jengalize, it's the new product. You take one piece out of it.
But it's so true when you get that once that clock goes off, that genetic time clock, things just happen. People get weird diseases. People become diabetic. It's crazy, but you know what? It happens, and you know what? We're at that age now. Well, you're almost.
Some turn 50 and grow muscles.
That's right. 50 is the magic age when things start to really
watch
really
it. Blackman will sign into the comment section under his real name.
You gotta take something that's short.
Lee, he'll sign in under his real name just so he won't be accused. We'll say, hey, that sounds like Blackman. No, it can't be Blackman. Signed in under his real name.
Telomeres, Chris. It's all about the telomeres. You got to extend the telomeres.
Oh no, you've done it again. I can't remember whose it was. I was channel surfing some YouTube thing, and they actually brought that up. Why does Dave every show have a go at Blackman and assume that he's gay?
We don't assume he's gay. There's no assumptions.
But that's what this other station was hinting. I can't remember whose it was, and they've just given him more ammo.
Okay, I'm glad. I gotta give these guys something to talk about. No one has anything original to talk about anymore, right? So
people doing videos about other people's videos and other people's videos.
There you go. Yeah. You know what? The truth is that, when you get older, things go wrong. Look, Chris, I eat perfectly. I take new supplements. I try to take good care of myself, and I don't want to leave anything I don't want to say to myself, you know what? I could have avoided that if I would have just done this or done that. But shit happens anyway. That's life, and it could be depressing. I might never. Who knows? I may never be able to walk again. I don't know. They got to do a surgery on my foot. If it doesn't heal right, I might need it.
So what are they doing this time? Didn't they put screws in it last time? What are they doing
taking
this
the
time?
screws out, and they're going to re-put more screws in. They got to clean up something. I have a break. There's a crack in one of the bones, and then one of the bones collapsed. Something didn't fuse right. I don't know. You know what it is? Everything looked great until they had me start walking.
Until it didn't.
Well, if you want an honest opinion from Chris and I, amputation.
It's not even a joke, Lee, because you know what? It could happen down the road.
But then you could actually get them both.
Your brain is intact.
Get them both amputated, and then get like a size 8. And think of all the shoes you could buy a lot cheaper.
There you go. I think, Lee, I'll suffer with my size 15. That's okay if that's all right with you.
Positive. You're always so negative. It's like...
And the thing, I can't even use growth hormone or anything like that because I have cancer. The thyroid cancer. I'm afraid, God forbid, there's a couple cells left. So I can't even use any remedies like that. But who knows?
I just looked up Google, and all it said is you're fucked. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
But don't remember, though, why everybody's here. Don't forget the great Species Labor Day sale tomorrow.
That's right. Actually, it's probably starting right about now. So people can go over to speciesnutrition.com and use Labor 22.
And the Isolize sale.
Well, let me give them the first thing. Labor 30. You put that in on your code on checkout. You get 30% off from speciesnutrition.com. Free shipping on orders over $100. And we still have, like Lee said, the Isolize sale. Lee, you want to tell us the Isolize sale?
The guy's going to call you tomorrow because he wants to buy it all. So don't one call Dave yet, just in case the guy wants to buy it all off.
You better go online right now and buy it because there is a guy who wants to buy all the short-dated
22 servings in this one, and there's 44 servings in the big tub. Vanilla peanut butter and vanilla and chocolate peanut butter in the smaller tubs.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going to pull.
Don't forget the big sale tomorrow. That's the big one. 30% off the entire store. We've got to pay for Dave's new foot.
Doesn't apply. It doesn't apply to these Isolize, these flavors that we're selling really cheap. This is a really.
You think feet are cheap these days, and Dave's got a big foot. It's going to cost a lot of money.
That's right. So. I always tell people you got to stay positive about everything you do. And you know what? People call me all the time and they're very depressed about this or that in their life. And you know what I say? We all, everyone has something. Everyone has something.
You do, Dave. You do got to stay positive. There comes a point, mate, the cancer, the shoulders, the foot. There comes a point where you just got to, just say, God, take me now.
I'm not there, Lee. I'm not there yet. Sorry.
You can only hang on for so long, Dave.
You know what, Lee? There's a lot of people that are really depressed out there, and so it's not even really a joke. Now, luckily, I don't get depressed. I don't allow it to bother me. I believe that there's always, a way out, and that you have to just be positive and just focus on the good stuff. Focusing on the negative stuff in your life or the stuff that's not going well is not going to make that any better or any worse. So just don't focus on it at all. Focus on the stuff that is going right in your life.
Just focus on me, and you'll always have a great day.
That's right. I want to congratulate all the people at the North American Championships. If you want to check out all the pictures, npcnewsonline.com has all the great photos from the weekend. I had a lot of people who were competing myself. I think they gave away like 250 pro cards or something like that. Some crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
So they have all those pros pay their $300 something a year. How much is that just from that show?
I don't know. Lee, this is a true story. I was in the supermarket and
really?
I'm at the checkout counter. Fairly, you could tell the girl at the checkout counter worked out. Definitely. No doubt about it. And some guy comes running up to me. And I'm with my kids and my wife. And he's like, Dave Palumbo. Oh, I can't put Dave Palumbo. One of those. I watch RX Muscle. You should have been a pro. But as soon as he says you should have been a pro, the checkout girl says to me, I'm an IFBB pro. I'm like, oh, really? What division?
Figure. My goal is to go to the Arnold, huh?
The checkout girl was a bikini pro, probably going through the Arnold class again. She
I
had a higher status than I did. I said, well, that's nice. My wife and the checkout person are pros. I'm not. I said, but I'm glad that you recognized me in the supermarket. I feel good about that, at least. I was recognized in the supermarket.
I get recognized half for that. Then, of course, I did that comedy show, Fat Pizza and Housos, which is like Trailer Park Boys.
Right.
And they just replayed the episode where I played ahead of the skinhead in the White Power. I got the White Power thing on.
Is that popular?
The other day, I'm walking down Beaumont Street where all the cafes and people are sitting out the front.
Yeah.
And there's these like the type of people that watch the show are a bit, stoners, and they're looking at me, and I just pay no attention. All of a sudden, from across the road, they start yelling out, "White Power! White Power!"
Oh my God, they recognize you, huh? That's great.
Like, I don't want to be recognized for a part on the show where they're yelling "White Power" across the street, and people looking at me like, "Yes," covered in tats. I just saw it. Yes.
It's weird when people recognize you for something that you're not used to being recognized for. Like you're used to being recognized for bodybuilding, not acting.
Well, I did that one before where I played this drug dealer in the gym. And there's this beautiful old lady that comes to the gym every morning, and the next morning she comes up to me and she just grabs me. She goes, "Lee, I saw you on TV last night." She goes, "That's not a good look for you because you're such a nice guy. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Because you're so nice, and playing a drug dealer is not you, Lee."
She bought into it. That means you must have acted really well.
I should have got Dave Palumbo to play the part. He would have been fucking great.
That's right. You must have been a good actor if she bought into the fact that you were a drug dealer.
Exactly. Because she thinks I'm such a nice guy, but in the past she thought that I was this bad drug dealer.
She thought that maybe that was like, art imitating life, You know how that goes.
I want to know why I was stereotyped for that part, though. That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to bring up before this is proof, Chris, that I'm not crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this story.
Oh yeah, we're going to show you brain scan.
Yeah. Damn it.
You are crazy. So this isn't really going to prove anything if you want to know ahead of time. We're waiting.
This girl. She's a TikTok star. So you know that she must be big time TikTok. 21 years old.
Did she parachuted out?
She was jumped out with it. She went parachuting. Yeah, Chris knows all the gossip stories. Hold on, let me pull this up here.
Well, you see the Bed Bath and Beyond guy. You said see the Bed Bath and Beyond CEO. Did you see the Russian? Did you see the Russian gas executive? He fell out his hospital window?
I heard that one. Yeah, he fell out.
Anyways, what happened with the girl? I did hear.
So this Tanya Pardazzi, a TikTok star with nearly 100,000 followers, former Miss Teen Canada semifinalist in 2017. I think she placed at the Bikini National.
Her lips look jimmied up. Her lips are jimmied up for sure.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, she decided that she had done some skydiving, tandem skydivings, and she was going to go on her first solo skydiving thing. Now, I always tell you, Chris, I say this all the time, that I refuse to go skydiving. Rick Collins tried to get me to do it. I said, if I die because the parachute doesn't open, what a fucking dumb fucking way to fucking drop dead, right? Yeah. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. The chute opened too late, and she hit the floor and splatted, and she's dead. And you know what? It's so avoidable. I mean, did she really have to go skydive? I don't understand. The thrill of jumping out of a fucking airplane with a parachute that might not fucking open. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why people do it.
Because she needed more followers. I mean,
that's exactly why she did it.
I mean, that's it sounds so, and it is,
Dave,
coarse and hard, but it was done to get followers. I mean, she's not the first person there was a guy, there's been so many people have died recently who are like TikTok people who are like walking on airplanes and while they're flying, whatever, like the Red Baron
But you know what? She wasn't doing. Look, people parachute. They go. They jump out of airplanes and they parachute. She wasn't doing anything like crazy dangerous where she was like testing the water. She was doing something that kind of had a way of that people do all the time. But you know what? Chutes don't open. Shit goes wrong. It's a dumb way to die.
She might have been filming on the way down and forgot to pull the
Lee, you're you know what, Lee? You're most likely correct.
You know what, Chris? You know when these people, they pack their own chutes. You know, they got to push the chute in. I wouldn't want to pack my chute, and I certainly wouldn't want to let anyone else pack my chute. What if it doesn't open?
Yeah,
I wouldn't want a blonde to pack my fucking lunch. Bear Explorer B here's Dave. You got to listen.
Too soon, Lee. Too soon.
Bear Explorer saying, get Lee off HMR. Give him his own show if you're so attached to him. Get him off.
But you know what? People do these crazy, risky things. You remember that? Remember that actor John Eric Hexum? You remember him back in the day in the 80s, Chris?
No.
Good-looking guy. He was on some big TV show we used to watch. I don't remember what the name of the show was. The guy was playing with a Russian roulette with the, you know, what they do? When they flip the chamber.
Put it up to his head.
Yeah, put it up to his head, blew his brains out. Fucking dead.
Yeah.
I mean, people just do stupid shit. I mean, so unnecessary. That's why I don't jump out of airplanes. And that's why I really don't like to go on rides either.
That's why I'm glad you don't have a TikTok account, Dave, because I'm afraid you'll be doing risky things like with the snakes.
We
Handling poisonous snakes with a bad foot while the kids are screaming in the other room.
You know that there's guys out there that do that, Chris. They free handle snakes, and
I know.
And this one guy, he's got millions in followers. Chandler's Wildlife, something like that. He got bit by a Cuban crocodile. It almost took his leg off. Matter of fact, forget Chandler. There was a guy, Greg Graziani, who was known as the Python Hunter. He had a TV show for a while. He just had his arm bit off by an alligator. And he breeds alligators. And
Dave and I had a joint TikTok.
It's called overconfidence, Dave.
It was called, like I said, right?
Yeah, it was. It was called it was like I said, we had the TikTok account, but Dave and I just couldn't work out how to use the fucking figures too.
You know what it is? It's if I have to check one more fucking account, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and then there's messengers on everything, and then I got WhatsApp and text messages and it emails. It never stops. It's like another fucking thing we got to add on. What you know what they should do if they want to start something new? You got to get rid of something else. Like, all right, you know what? TikTok and Instagram are number 1 and 2. Now no one's doing. Get rid of Facebook. Fucking just close.
Why can't they just come? If like Facebook owns Instagram or whatever, why can't they just combine and make one place where you go? Just the one. Like the Walmart app where you can get fucking everything.
Well, you know what? They've integrated it more, Lee. You can kind of check your messages from Facebook and see your Instagram messages now. So it's a little better. But, you know, the TikTok is the Chinese. The Chinese government started TikTok. It's the most addictive of them all, supposedly, at least for the kids. I know my kids do TikTok. I have to take the phone away from them because they always want to watch TikTok. Even the name TikTok, you know, it's like
like I said, I can understand kids.
Suspicious, your father would say, Dave. The name is suspicious.
Yes, very suspicious.
When I see young kids doing it, I can understand. But when I see grown adults going on there doing stupid dances and silly stuff, I'm just like, that's society plummeting like that girl without a parachute.
There's a good metaphor for life. Have you seen this game? My wife got me addicted to this game. I don't play video games, but this stupid game. Have you seen this game? It might ruin you. I don't know if I want to tell you about it. It's called Block Puzzle. You can download it. It's free. Block Puzzle.
My wife plays a couple of games like that on her phone, and she's on it all day. There's this fishing one, then another one, and one where you move stuff and things fall.
Try it. Block Puzzle. I'm telling you,
I will not.
You'll curse me. You'll be spending. Lee, you'll be obsessed with that game. I'm telling you. Block Puzzle.
I curse you anyway about playing the game. So why would I never play the game for?
Hey. You know, I want to just thank Felix Norman for coming on the show. Congratulations on the huge win at the North American Championships. You know, like I said to him, there I go. I'm becoming Lee Priest. Like I said, you know, there are only 3 shows a year where the open men can win an overall championship, the USA Championships, National Championships, North American Championships. Those overall winners go onto a list that will always be etched in history and of our sport. And, you know, I think he should be very proud. He overcame an alcohol problem he had for 8 years as a young man. He cleaned up his life, and now he's an IFBB pro, and he's moving on to the pro ranks. So congratulations to him and all the winners and all the Pro Card recipients from this past weekend. And as we say every week here at Heavy Muscle Radio, with Heavy Muscle Radio,
Labor Day sale.
The truth hurts, Lee. The truth hurts.
You're ruining the flow here. But yeah, make sure you head over to speciesnutrition.com. Put in that coupon code LABOR30 for 30% off the entire website, plus the special deals we have on Isolize as well. Thank you, Lee.
And the truth hurts. And the truth hurts. Yes.
And the truth hurts. Don't go jumping out of any parachutes on Labor Day, please. We want to see you again next Sunday night.